I decided to explore a part of New York City called City Island. And I've been, just so you probably know, I've been living in New York City. I live in New York City, and I've been living in New York City for about 20 years now. I learned about this place, well, I explored it last year for the first time in my life. And it just goes to show you, you live near havens and you don't know them, especially if you don't have any incentive to explore. And there was my scooter. I had a car, but you know, cars are different. But when you have a two-wheeler, it's just, I don't know, it encourages you to explore a lot more. So anyway, I explored it last year and I fell in love with it. My wife fell in love with it, and we have been going there every now and then, especially when we yearn for seafood. And as I'm going to show you, the place is very famous for that. They've got restaurants, seafood restaurants left and right that specialize in seafood, and honestly, some of the best seafood I've ever eaten in my life. Costly, yes, of course, very costly, but it's worth it if you don't do it, you know, every day. But they do have, you know, affordable dishes, absolutely. Anyway, so today I decided to explore it. It's July, and it's mid-July, and the weather is beautiful. It's supposed to be in the high 90s today, but honestly, I was afraid to go out because of that. But there's a breeze in the air, so that makes it a lot more bearable. And I decided, what the hell, let me show you guys, and even myself, I love to, you know, see that myself, how the city looks from a two-wheeler. Alright, City Island, here we go. So right now we are in the Bronx. Specifically, we are in the northeastern parts of the Bronx, right on the coast. Really, really beautiful place. It's a slice of heaven that a lot of people actually know about, but very few visit. All right. I did some chain cleaning yesterday. I lubed the chain of my bike for the first time in my life, and for the first time as the owner of this bike, and I have to say my bike feels a lot different today, in a good way. I mean, everything is enhanced. The sound of the muffler is, I mean, it was already impressive, but man, it's just so deep-throated today. I do not know what happened. I did not know that lubing the chain would have so many benefits, and my ride is a lot smoother, no jerkiness whatsoever. And you know, you get that lugging experience when you ride the bike, but none of that, no jerkiness, no unbelievable. I am impressed. I am impressed. I might do a video on my next chain cleaning or lubing. I might do a video on it just to show you guys. It was fairly easy. It took me some time to figure things out, but hey, it paid off, I think. So here we are. This is City Island, and we're actually crossing the bridge that links the Bronx to the City Island. And for those of you who don't know, the Bronx is one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. So City Island is actually part of the Bronx, and thus part of New York City. Oh, look at that. This is beautiful. Here we are. I just want to take a stop right here very quickly. Here we have, welcome to City Island, settled in 1685, the Garden Club of City Island. So they have like a bunch of clubs here, and they have like yacht clubs, and so all clubs have to do something with the boats. So we've got yachts, we've got sailing boats there, probably some fishing boats, yeah, across that body of water actually is a gun range, an NYPD gun range. That's, I think, where the NYPD sends its officers to train in, handling of guns and explosives. And yes, explosives. I just the other day I was here with my wife, and no, I was here alone, and I was sitting on one of these benches reading the book, when all of a sudden, I hear pop, 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 pop. So I hear a cracking of shots, and it continued incessantly for like 2 hours, and then suddenly there was a big boom right on top of that hill, and over actually that hill. And I do not know what type. I mean, I was shocked that they would actually train in explosive guns. I was very, very shocked to be a witness to that. And I think they have a schedule, like they do it in the afternoon for like a couple hours. It's unsettling, but I think the settlers here have gotten used to them. So, but honestly, for me it was very unsettling. I mean, being next to a gun range, that's crazy. I was just thinking, oh, a bullet is gonna hit me. But I'm sure it's safe and all that, given that it's the New York City Police Department's establishment. So I'm sure they've taken the safety precautions not to endanger the lives of anyone here, especially since this is not a heavily populated area, but people do come here. Outsiders from New York City scurry here on the weekends, especially for seafood. It's a really, really nice place. Now, just so you have an idea of what City Island, of the land itself, the island is only like 1.5 miles long, literally. We're right here. We're at the top. We're at the northern part of the island, and all we have to do is just take the City Island Avenue all the way to the end, to the southern tip of the island, which is about 1.5 miles in length. And that's all there is to see at City Island. Across, it's only like 0.5 miles. So it's just 1/2 mile long, and it's surrounded by water on all sides. And I'm going to talk to you guys about this water, body of water, in a minute. But it's a beautiful thing. It's very, very different from the rest of New York City, and you'll see in a minute why. So let's get going. Oh my God, I love the sound. Look at that. I am shocked. I am shocked that lubing the chain would have so many beautiful benefits. Unbelievable. I am more than thrilled. Okay, so the main this is the main road, the City Island Avenue. It's lined basically on both sides with seafood restaurants. We've got some antique stores, and a couple of supermarkets, and really, nothing major. They do have the essential services here, but that's all there is to this island. Seafood city. That's what it's known for. as you can see so far, you know, the architecture is not very impressive, but we're gonna do a bit of exploring across, you know, of the exploring of the architecture. And the architecture is it's really very old, not necessarily colonial houses, but it does have, the houses do give you the feel that you're somewhere in one of those towns in I don't know, Vermont, Boston, or any of the, you know, New England places. So yeah, it's low buildings, thank the Lord. New York City is just peppered with tall, you know, buildings, and I think you suck the life out of the city. And I know New York City is famous for tall buildings, but that's not necessarily a good thing, and I can tell you, it definitely is not a good thing, especially if you live here and you have to, you know, thirst for sunlight because it can't get to you because of the buildings. So here, you know, the architecture remains pretty much the way it was hundreds of years ago, yeah, just very low buildings. They have these small cafes, very lovely, really. So far, really nothing impressive, but if you live in New York City, the reason you find it impressive is because, as I mentioned, you don't get this feel ever anywhere in New York City, in any of the boroughs. So, which begs the question, why is this part of New York City? Well, you know, you can look it up in Wikipedia, honestly, the history of the island. I'm not going to tell you right now, but this island, a lot of, you know, a lot of, it had sort of identity issues in the very beginning of its establishment, up to like 1890 something, when it became part of New York City. And it had to be coaxed, actually, to become part of New York City. And what sold it was the bridge. So this was, I think, the Eastchester Bay County. They first, it was part of that county, and then New York City said, yeah, listen, we'll build you a bridge, how about that, and join us. So it did. So it does have a history of identity issues. Here we are. This is actually the southern tip of the island, and what we are right now looking at is we're looking at the Long Island Sound. That's what the body of water is called, and this particular body of water is it's just such a beautiful view from here. You gotta, you know, look at that, so beautiful. And we're actually right now we're looking at we're looking at Kings Point. That's in Long Island, Queens, Long Island, just one body of land, really. So Long Island starts there and it stretches all the way down. It's a very, 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 very long island. Yeah, this is it. This is City Island, and these actually seafood restaurants are pretty famous. I've never been here. I will show you the restaurant that my wife and I frequent, and we've been there like 3 times, I think, 3 or 4 times since last year. And honestly, we love it. We haven't been here. I think we did frequent this. Yeah, we were here once. I didn't find it impressive, but people, you know, it's a lot of people say great things about it. I don't quite remember because maybe it was just once, but it is known for, you know, I guess the sign says it all. This is it. John is world famous. Reef restaurant, seafood by the ton, often imitated, never duplicated. I like that. That's witty. Imitation, duplication, originality. So yeah, this is it. This is City Island.